talking a very vibrant past, a very gloomy
Yes.
present. How do you plan to bring back industries into Bengal? Because the culture is gone. The culture is gone. The working culture is terrible. People working out there tell me that it's amongst the worst in the country. People don't know what to work. I might sound very harsh, but that is what people who are investing, who are carrying a legacy business in Bengal tell me that it's terrible. People don't want to work. So how do you plan to make Bengal golden again?
Well, you have to create an investment climate that is conducive to investors, A, and B, you have to create an incentive structure for work. And I think that going on hartals, having lots and lots of holidays during the year, etc. Those are things that militate against a vibrant work culture. But if you look at Bengalis outside Bengal, I just note that, outside, just across my house in Delhi, uh, a huge building was demolished towards the end of January and has been, a new, completely new building has come up just in 2 or 3 months. I'm just struck by the fact that most of the workers are Bengalis, and the pace at which they are working just is astonishing. Every time I come to Kolkata for a week and I go back, I find so much work more has been done. It's almost complete. I mean, there's a 4-story building that is being put up by about these 10 workers who work day and night in the blazing sun, in the rain. They keep working. So it is not as if Bengalis are averse to work. If you look at Bengalis outside Bengal, they are working really hard. So there's something wrong with the with the climate of incentives in Bengal, which has resulted in uh, those staying behind in Bengal being seen as averse to work. But
Uh-huh.
if you create a conducive environment, if you create an environment that is work oriented, I am sure that the Bengalis will come forward and take the opportunities in hand. So, I think that is the key thing. Now, I think that the labor market reforms create a huge opportunity for Bengal because just across in Bangladesh, there is one of the world's leading garment manufacturing and export hubs. So, uh, if Bangladesh can do it, why can't West Bengal? The cost of labor is similar or slightly lower. In fact, I'd say in West Bengal, the cost of everything. When I come here, I find that when I order a Swiggy meal, it costs one third of what it does in Delhi, maybe one fourth of what it does in Bombay. So you actually have a very low cost of living here. You have, therefore, you don't need, the entire cost structure will be a lot lower. But obviously, you point to the right thing, which is that there is, the work culture has deteriorated drastically. That is because we've had leftist oriented governments for 49 years, and that militates against a vibrant work culture. Once we have a more center right government, a government like the BJP has at the center, then there'll be, first of all, cooperation between the central and the state government. And I think that there will be the opportunity. I would say one of the things we should be doing in West Bengal is to invite some of the leading garment exporters of Bangladesh to explore opportunities to invest in West Bengal because a lot of the garment exporting companies in Bangladesh were seen as closely affiliated to the Awami League. Many of their leaders of those businesses have spent months and years in jail ever since Sheikh Hasina was ousted as prime minister. So I think there's a huge opportunity to get some of those Awami League affiliated businessmen to come and explore opportunities in West Bengal. There's lots of land available. I mean, I think there's often a fear that where's the land? I think there's more than enough land. It needn't just be in the city of Kolkata. There's lots of land in outside Shiliguri, Jalpaiguri, in Malda. There's lots of places where you could create this kind of textile hub. And Bengal, in addition, I mean India, in addition, has ample cotton available. So cotton textiles, apart from synthetic textiles, could be a big focus area. So I think that that is one area where Bengal can come up as a strong entity. Second thing I think is health tourism. Uh, Bengal still, despite the horrible RG Kaur episode and the long neglect of government hospitals in this state by, especially by the Trinamool government, Bengal still has very high quality doctors. And therefore, around those doctors, you could create a much stronger hub for health tourism. And at the moment, most of the health tourists come from Bangladesh. We could extend that to people from all over Southeast Asia, and not just that, but people from the West. So if you want to make Kolkata the alternative to London, one way is to make Kolkata a hub for NHS tourists, those who need procedures that are too expensive and too long in the National Health Service in the UK. They should come to Kolkata, where they'll find that there are brief glimpses of the British past of this city, and and they'll be able to also get their health problems resolved. So that's another area, and I think financial. I'd say that Bengal and Kolkata should look to Southeast Asia as being its hinterland, and there should be a much greater collaboration between Kolkata and Singapore, Kolkata and Bangkok, Kolkata and Kuala Lumpur, to create a flow of financial capital as well as a financial hub. Now, you look at the Calcutta Stock Exchange; it has been dormant and it's about to be entirely dissolved. But the Calcutta Stock Exchange, until 40 or 50 years ago, was the second largest stock exchange in India, and it was a very significant player. So I'd say that given that Coal India is still headquartered here, Hindustan Copper is headquartered here, we could make Kolkata a hub for the trading of futures and options in commodities of the sort that Chicago has become in the US relative to New York. So New York is the hub for equities and fixed income. Chicago is the hub for commodity trading, futures and options, etc. And that is where Kolkata could come in, because it is still the hub of a major mineral producing region. There's Jharkhand and Odisha, which produce a lot of minerals. Bengal has some of its own coal, etc. So we could make this a hub for a new kind of finance, and those are some of the areas that that we need to focus on. In addition, education needs attention. Bengal used to be, as I said, education capital of India. That has fallen by the wayside. And one of the things that has been neglected is English language education. We need to have the new education policy of the national government implemented in full, so that English education begins at a young age, and we don't have generation after generation, as we've had for the last two generations, that are unable to communicate properly in English, and that creates significant problems even in areas like not just things like IT, but also in arguing before the Supreme Court. Until 40 years ago, 50 years ago, some of the leading lawyers of India were Bengalis. Siddhartha Shankar Rai was, right until the end of his life, a leading constitutional lawyer. And there were many others. Many of them were very, very successful in politics as well. Somnath Chatterjee, whose father was a Hindu Mahasabha MP, became a CPIM MP, became Speaker, but he was also a superb lawyer.